Hi guys! I thought I would just do an update while I'm waiting for some laundry to get done. So I apologize, I'm not all made up or anything. I feel like I've done this the last few weeks. I've just kind of got in front of the camera and don't even care really what I look like, but that's fine. Um, so, this week I am headed out to New York City with the baby's dad. We're super excited. It's going to be 4 days in New York City, and we both have never been, so the only thing I'm not really looking forward to is a 4-hour direct flight. So, not necessarily because of going to the bathroom and stuff, but I just get really uncomfortable sitting that long, so we'll see how it goes. So I figured I'd talk this week, as always, talk about the baby, how my symptoms are. I did get quite a few questions this week, so I'll try to answer all those. And then I'm going to talk about the baby registering that we did last weekend and go ahead and do my measurements at the end of the video. So if you just want to see how I'm progressing, I would just go towards the end of the video, like maybe the last minute or two. So the baby this week is 8 inches from crown to rump. We've gone back to the crown to rump measurements, and I think that's just because they can't really give like an accurate full body measurement. So 8 inches from the top of the head to their bottom, their butts. So that's pretty, she's getting bigger. And she's just slightly over a pound. And it did say like in the next 4 weeks that she'll double in weight. Hopefully I don't notice that much weight gain. Not the double, but just I don't notice, the couple pounds of weight gain. But and her skin is kind of like a reddish color because the blood vessels underneath are starting to develop, and she's starting to get some fat on her. So I think for now that they're pretty much developed, they're just getting fat. So from here on out, which is kind of cool. So yeah. Some of the symptoms, let's see. So this week I'm up 12 pounds, which is about right on track, I guess. We'll see. I have a doctor's appointment next Monday, so we'll see what she thinks. Yesterday I had the worst case of diarrhea I've ever had in my entire life. Literally, I was in the bathroom for like 2 hours, and it was so painful, and I just kept getting in and out of the bathtub because my stomach hurt so bad. I don't know if it was from food or if it was a pregnancy symptom or what it was from, but it was excruciating, and I hope it goes away for now. Because up until then, I've been pretty constipated, so I don't know if it was just kind of happened from all the constipation, and then it just all was like, or if it was, I don't know, from food. But it was awful, and I hope nobody else has to go through that. Pregnancy brain is crazy. Like, I forget things all the time, and I am not a forgetful person usually. I'm usually the one that like makes lists and like has everything together and organized, and like even just this trip, I've forgotten so much stuff already just to get lined up, and so like that's just not me at all. So yeah, pregnancy brain is in full force. The last thing is I've been snoring. I can tell at night. Good thing I live alone. Otherwise, I'm sure whoever I lived with would want to kill me. But I wake up, my nose is just completely congested. It's bloody, and I snore. So I'm sure part of that is from wintertime in Denver, which we're just so dry here. The blood part is, I'm sure, from that. The snoring and the nasal congestion I hear is a pretty common pregnancy characteristic. So there is that, and it has been pretty bad since I've been pregnant. So I believe that it's from pregnancy, not entirely from the humidity, because I run a humidifier and a purifier in my room. So yeah, that's kind of it for symptoms. I've been doing pretty well this week. So, my acid reflux has been really good. This week it hasn't been too bad. Usually it's like constantly that I'll burp or have a lot of gas, or like a lot of reflux, and that's kind of gone this week. So hopefully that stays, because it's really uncomfortable. I think that's probably the worst symptom I've had, besides first trimester with all the nausea and stuff. So I'll go ahead and go through some of the questions that I was sent. So thank you for sending these questions, because it kind of is there's some really good ones in here. So the first one was, how are you planning to do maternity leave? So I actually work in an office environment. I am, like I said, a software engineer. So my company, their policy is we get 12 weeks, which is mandated by federal law, and then to hold the position. And then we get 1 week for every year we were with the company. So, and that the 1 week is paid at full. So they pay full-time, pay your full salary at that point. And then the 12 weeks, they put you on short-term disability. So then you get 60% of your pay through the rest of the maternity leave. So I've already got it all lined up, all approved. So it'll just be a matter of when it starts versus when it'll end. It was a pretty smooth process, and it's awesome working in a company that does something like that, because they don't have to pay you for the 12 weeks maternity leave. And it is federal law that they have to give you 12 weeks. They have to hold your position. So just make sure that you're aware of that. Otherwise, I know the woman that sent me the question said that it was hard for her to try to get some money in and work around the maternity leave, but you should be getting the 12 weeks regardless. You should not be able to lose your job from that. So next was, that's the other thing. I'm always out of breath, but whatever. I've kind of gotten over that. What are you planning for daycare? So we've called a few places, and we have 3 tours set up tomorrow. It's ridiculous. Like, the earliest that these places, it's November right now, the earliest these places can get us in is June 1. One place could get us in April, but the other ones were June 1. And that goes for any of the, and I guess it's kind of our personal decision, because we don't want to do a strict daycare. We want to do an educational type of daycare where they actually teach. And for example, one of them, they go all the way up to pre-K and I believe kindergarten for one of them. So that was kind of our personal decision. If we're both working 8 to 10 hours a day, we need someone there to kind of be teaching her the basics. So as soon as you know your due date, go find a daycare, especially if you know you're going to be in the area, because it was ridiculous. Because one of the other places, it was June. They had one spot open in June, and then didn't have another spot open again until August. They had one spot in August, and then they had 3 spots in November. So within a year, 12-month period, they had 5 spots available for an infant. That's ridiculous to me. I don't understand how it could be that busy. And it seems like prices are pretty consistent all the way around. So seems like one of them will set a price, and then they all kind of follow that price. So you just kind of have to know what your area is. Pros and cons of in-home versus day school. So in-home is nice because you're getting more one-on-one attention. They can teach them a lot more. Hopefully you trust the person enough that you know that they're taking care of it and not just pumping them full of Benadryl, because there's been a lot of stuff in the news recently here about a couple of the in-home facilities that are under investigation for just basically putting the kids to sleep all day and not doing anything. So one of the biggest questions you should ask your daycare is if you allow unexpected parent visits, because then that you could stop by at 10 in the morning and make sure that they're actually doing something and not just sleeping, or a time that you know for sure that your baby is going to be awake, and just stop by and make sure that they're just not sleeping the whole day, because at what point are you learning your, fundamental things? So, and day school is nice. most of the day schools here, I think they said that the law is 1 to 5, so one teacher for every 5 kids. Most of the day schools that I've contacted here are 1 to 3, 1 to 4, which I think is pretty good, because not at all times are you going to have all your infants for that one teacher awake. So they're able to kind of just get each infant their own personal time and the ability to teach them while they're awake. So I think it's really important to find one that you're really comfortable with, and it's really a personal decision. And like I said, we decided that we wanted to do the day school just because it's just more comfortable for us. Because we don't really know anybody out here. It's just us. So it says, let's see, this is the last question. So I think many vloggers get paid for vlogging. Would you like to do that to increase extra income? Currently, no. I don't plan on it. I make enough money as an engineer that I do this for fun. I do this strictly for just my reflection to look back, and for my family, because like I said in my earlier videos, all my family is in Kansas City or North Dakota. They're like all over, and his family is in California, Kansas City, and they're just all over too. So it's really nice because they can kind of follow me and see how I'm doing, and then see the baby and see my stomach and all that stuff. So at this point, it's not really about money. We have enough of that, so to be comfortable. So it's this is just purely for entertainment purposes, I guess. So thank you, Shelly, for all the questions. That was fantastic. I will talk about, we did go baby registering yesterday. We went to Pottery Barn Kids first, and then Babies R Us, and then we went to Target. And Pottery Barn Kids, if you're going to register there, it was fine. It's always a madhouse when we go into that store. I don't know if it's just because of our area. But kind of the approach we took is Pottery Barn Kids, we did a lot of the decoration stuff that we wanted to do, and some blankets and just kind of miscellaneous stuff like piggy banks, stuff that matched the bedding or the furniture that we got, so that we wouldn't have overlapping things at all the different stores. So at Pottery Barn, you don't really get anything except that, let's see, you get, it was like 10% off for 6 months after the baby's born, or after the date that you put on your paper for anything in their store, which was kind of cool. 10% is not much at Pottery Barn, though. If you have ever actually looked at their prices, they're a little ridiculous. But yeah, it was nice. I mean, it was a good experience for him because he actually ran the scanner thing at all these different stores. So he was like, oh my gosh, do we really need all this stuff? I'm like, yes, we do. We need bottles. Like, we need basic stuff. So he's a very minimalistic person. So he was like freaking out that we needed all this stuff. So we went to Babies R Us, and Babies R Us was really smooth. We just walked up to the baby registry area, said we're registering for our baby, filled out some paperwork. They gave us a scanner thing. We just walked around the store, scanned a bunch of stuff. Like, we scanned like 150 things from Babies R Us. And then we came back. They gave us a big bag of like goodies. And then we left from there. But that one took the longest just because there was so much stuff. And we try to keep most of our baby registry items under like $50 because we don't like to ask. I don't know. I feel bad asking for anything more than that. So that was fun. But yeah, he was freaking out. He was like, do we really put diapers on the registry? I'm like, yes. Do you want to tell them what kind of diapers you want? Well, do we need nursing pads? Like, what is this? What is a boppy pillow? Do we really need a bathtub for the baby? I'm like, oh my gosh. Just scan it. Just scan and let it soak in, and then ask your questions at the end. It was getting ridiculous. So yeah, if you have a first-time dad, they just don't know. And he doesn't really read much about things that you need to do for a baby, so he's just kind of lost right now. So then we went to Target. Target was interesting. So Babies R Us, we did most of the essentials, like bottles and, like I said, the bobby pillow, some blankets, diapers, that kind of stuff. At Target, what we did a lot of the clothes, a lot of just the rest of the miscellaneous stuff, pacifiers and stuff like that. So at Target, they do kind of the same thing. You just go to guest services, type in at a kiosk, fill out your registry, and then they come and bring you a gun. And you scan everything and then take it back, and then they give you a bag of goodies. So I think Babies R Us was probably the best place to do it, do the registry, but it's nice to give people options. All of them will ship to your home, so like if you go out there and order, you can have it shipped straight to here, which is nice. Babies R Us and Target, and I believe Pottery Barn, I think all three of them you can set up online. So you can go online, change stuff, add stuff, remove stuff, whatever, which is really convenient. I mean, just to be able to go in and change stuff around if you feel like, oh crap, I added too many bottles, or instead I want these bottles instead. Now that I've done some research, it's great. So we're going to do, I send out invitations next week for our baby shower, and then I am going to do a Colorado baby shower, which will probably be a lot smaller. It's just going to be work people and stuff. Next month as well. And yeah, so let me do my measurements. This video is a little bit longer just because I had so much stuff to catch up on, but here we go. Let's see. Here's with the shirt. And so this shirt's from high school. I've had this shirt forever. And last week I was measuring at 33 3/4. So this week I am at right at 34, it looks like. 34. 34. So 1/4 of an inch difference, and like I said, I'm up 12 pounds, so that's pretty good. Anyway, I will see you guys after New York City. Yay!